What's up boys, welcome back to the channel, and today is another viewer VOD review video on a viewer of mine called Galai, which I found through my community Discord. And if you want to be involved in one of these videos yourself, just like this guy did, join the community Discord using the link in the description, and then it will tell you what to do after that. Also, if you want to support me more, you can use code VUJ in the item shop. Okay, that's it. Enjoy the video. See ya. Okay, so he comes about, I think 108th, which is, yeah, here you go, pretty painful. That's literally like 1 to 2 points off. But yeah, we're gonna, first I'm just gonna go over the first game. I got some things to say, but it doesn't matter too much. And then we'll go over the last game when he comes 13th. Okay, so he lands, I watched his VODs and he lands a split drop all those games. So he lands that like all the games. I'd say, like in the first game, it'll be way better to like line a POI if you still want to land a split drop in other games, but it doesn't matter too much. It's just like if you land a POI in the first game, you might get better loot, might be able to get grapple, get more kills like in the first game, but it's not too important. Okay, so some things with the first game I want to say is, you see down the bottom, like he doesn't have many, like he obviously doesn't get many kills, and it's the first game where it's like a pretty trash lobby. So what I want him to do, if he is confident at fighting, what he should do is get like at least 5 to 10 kills before in-game. I'll show you how. But what you should do is, like, you don't have to key everyone you see, right? You just need to kind of go dead side, find like a high hill, and then just like scout the area and like literally like study players to see like their movement and all that, to see if they're like good. You can kind of tell if people are good or bad, and then you need to go fight them basically and just jump in. Or don't jump in, actually. Like with bad players, what tends to happen is a lot of the time they might just run at you because they don't know what to do and they're not thinking and they're not like very good. So like a lot of the time the worst players are way more confident and they'll just jump at you. So when you fight the good players, you still need to be really smart. Even if they look like the worst player you've ever seen in your life, you still need to play slow and like get angles and make sure they can't run at you. But yeah, the biggest thing for getting kills in the first game isn't actually like the points, it's more the confidence you gain from that for in-game, and also like loot you get. Because what you want to do in the first game is, I'd say, get around like 5 to 10 kills and get like really good loot, and whatever the best thing in the meta is, like right now it's like the grapple, right? You need to get a grapple, go to God SMG, God Shoddy, really good heals, splashes, minis. You need to get really good loot for in-game and have like 4 kills, so you're like really confident for in-game. And then in in-game you just want to like sui height at like a safe point in the in-game and try to win the game. You just need to really focus on winning the game in the first one, because winning a game is a lot of points. And to win a game in the first game, it'll be really beneficial to get like good kills and good loot before that, because you'll just be really confident in-game if you have all the kills. Because what tends to happen is if you play the game really super placement heavy, like you just lose all your confidence and you kind of subconsciously play a lot more passive and scared. But if you are keying in the first game and you kind of feel like you don't care, it's really easy to like sui high and win the game. Because the difference between like 4th and a couple kills and a win and like 5 to 10 kills is a massive difference. And if you can get that many points in your first game, you have like a huge lead. Oh yeah, and another really good tip that I've found and I've seen other people do is, if you're not, even if you are good at fighting in solos, what you really want to do is literally play solo arena. Like solo arena is actually pretty good, because in solo arena people try really hard, and a lot of the time you might find you only like play creative and like team mode arena, so you're just not confident at all when it comes to like fighting in game as a solo. And playing arena and just land, what you want to do is just either land the POI that you like to land in a solo cash cup, or just land any POI. For example, this guy, if he lands a split drop, he wants to just land any random chill POI, like nothing crazy like tilted and stuff, just like logjam, synapse, like those type of like small POIs where like they aren't really occupied too much but they're good. And just land there every game and just key everyone you see. And then in the solo cash cup, if you don't want to land a POI every single game, what you want to do is just land that POI you land in arena in your first game. What happens, like after you grind a lot of solo arena and just key everyone, you get way more confident fighting in game, because the confidence you gain from practicing in game is a lot different from when you just fight one-on-one in creative, you're fine. So he does land this spot again. He does seem pretty confident in his fighting, especially since it's like the last game and he knows he needs to call this game. He doesn't need that many points. Like, you can tell he's decently confident fighting. So I feel like if he grind a bunch of solo arena and he keyed in the first game, he'd do a lot more than he thinks he would. I couldn't really find much like wrong with his mid game. He didn't really do anything that dumb, and he did get like a kill before, so Surge wasn't as a big a deal. Except here, I probably would have gone up there instead, because he's kind of putting himself into more dead side, and then the next rotate's going to be harder. Because you see this big cluster here in Sanctuary, he doesn't want to go near that. It could be fine if he goes like up here above Sanctuary and stays there. Because I think I said in the video before, you do not want to be in or with a cluster in a POI at all, because in the next rotate it's going to be pretty difficult. This isn't that bad though, but I probably would have gone more left, but it doesn't matter too much. This is what I don't like though, going into Sanctuary. I think this is pretty dodgy. This is good though, like, he's at least getting like ahead of the POI, so he's ahead of the cluster, which is good. But yeah, nothing really that wrong with his mid game. It's pretty fine. Like, he probably would have gotten to like the same spot if he went around here and curved in. But there's still the risk, like if he went into Sanctuary, that he would have had to stop because he might come across a cluster of people. Also, if you think about it, it would probably just be a lot safer to go around the POI, because there's if you go here, there's like, except for this bush, there's not really many places people can hide. But if he goes through here, there's so many corners and stuff someone can pop out of. And then he does pull here. I don't think I would move either. As long as you're like ahead of the pack, kinda. Like all these people here, they won't be able to move really. And as long as you're ahead of them, so the next rotate's gonna be easy, you can like go before them, like without getting caught up in the mess. It should be fine. But it wouldn't be that bad to like move up to here. He's also in a decent spot to get Surge since he's high up and he's already built a base. Yeah, I think it would have been pretty good to go over here where this guy is. You would have got here before him. But it's kind of like, it doesn't really matter. I don't know. Because you can see here, he's still ahead of most of these people, and ahead of them is not many people, so it's gonna be pretty easy to rotate. And it does pull pretty far, but that's pretty good, because like I said again, he's ahead of all the people that clustered up on the POIs. All he has to do is kind of wait for this one guy here to go, then I'll probably instantly go. Yeah, I go right now, instantly hop down and go up here. Yeah, so he does wait a bit too long, but doesn't end up mattering. Okay, then half pulls, and this is where I think it does go wrong for him a bit. This is where it starts to go wrong, kind of. So he's got this, the zone goes all the way to this cluster of people, and there's a big open area in the middle, and there's people like a bit in front and down from him. And I hope he realizes this. I'm not sure if he knows there's people there, but it should be pretty obvious. And he goes, I'd say a little bit too early, because he went when he didn't even know this guy was going yet. So what could have happened to him is he goes, and then the people just shoot him behind, and people shoot him in front, and then he's sandwiched and he'll most likely die. But he got a bit lucky with that guy going as he went as well. So right now it's kind of fine, but he really needs to pay attention to the people that are in zone shooting him. So I think here it's really small, but instead of jumping, he needs to just be holding his builds out and like flooring and walling himself in, and then when he gets to a safe point, just ramp up. Because here he was kind of like unaware or didn't care about the biggest threat he has, which is the people in front of him that are completely chilling in a box, and the only thing they're thinking was shooting him. And here I don't think you should have waited. It could have been dodgy if he just kept waiting here. I would have gone out here, edited up, ramped up a bunch here as early as possible, and come around up here. Maybe sit up here. This would be really nice. In solos, you just always want to be really high up. It's a lot more beneficial in solos to be high up than other game modes. even though it's still important in other game modes. But now he's not even in a bad spot. Like at least 1,000 mats in endgame is a great spot to be in with good heals and stuff. This is a decent rotate from where he was, but the thing is, the way he's like getting jumped on here is probably a cause of him like being low ground basically. Okay, so the thing wrong with this position is if he's low down here, that's him right there, and he's going instantly this way on low ground, everyone in the lobby that's above him, which is everyone that's not low ground, which is almost everyone, can see him and have the best angle on him and have the best angle to jump on him, to shoot him, to see where he's going, etc. So since he's in this bad position, he should have been like higher up, you know, so this position, like this situation doesn't exist. What you should do is just try wait, or try like just go forward a couple boxes and then wait a bit, just build, pause a bit, so he can then wait for people to get ahead of them, all these people above him, to like rotate in, and then he should try kind of follow the builds, but don't go too late. Because if you notice, if you're like this guy up here, like really high up this box, if he rotates, the only people that are above him that are going to have an angle on him if he starts dropping down are going to be like anyone above him or on the same layer. So there's just going to be a lot less people to shoot you, obviously, and you also get to see a really clear path of like where to rotate. And you notice it happens exactly here. This guy's grappling and he sees him and jumps on him. He could have died there if it went badly. Before the zone started going, you should have seen the elevation of this and that he needs to get up. Like probably, I'd probably still run here, but then here like ramp up, jump up here and start ramping up a bunch of layers, and then maybe pause here and then wait again. Like this could have been fine here if he goes up now, but he's kind of staying on a layer that's going to get really congested soon because everyone is forcing themselves up on him. But if you do find yourself in this situation, do what he's doing, like going to the very side and trying to get out as soon as the zone opens up, or even tanking to go up and just getting up as soon as possible. I would have liked to see him go like ramp up and get like up here at least. I do like what he's doing here, like he's running, boxing up, and then waiting for zone to get ahead, and then running again, and just constantly doing that, which is pretty standard stuff, but it's good. I feel like he's a bit unaware and a bit slow to react, kinda. Like he kind of runs and he almost like forgets like what's going on around him. Like he kind of just becomes like super tunnel visioned, and this is when it goes wrong here. It's pretty small, but he sees this guy in the back and he goes for an edit that is literally giving the other enemy a right hand peek on him, while he gives himself a left hand peek, while also the other guy is just sitting there waiting for him, and he has to run and shoot. So it's just really bad overall. I would have like got the box, not edit to this wall, make sure he's not phasing in, and then maybe make a box out here and try to take the wall and then try to kill him that way. Or I would have just left it and looked for something else, because he does have like, I think he had like 30 builds when he died, so he could have easily like dropped down here and stayed alive and juiced it out more. I feel like here as well, if you're like kind of deep into in-game like this and you're like 85 shield and you're big pot still, you really want to pop those big pots, I think, because a lot of the time in the in-game you're not going to get timed later to pop a big pot because it takes so long. And also, if you're going to need a refresh soon, like your 40 builds, you're probably going to fight someone, take a risk, right? Like you should be popping that shield. Also, he probably should have popped a big pot instead of popping the splashes, because splashes are really good later on, because you can always have time to pop splashes, but a lot of the time you won't be able to pop your big pot. So you should probably use your slow heals early as possible, and then your like quick heals, save them for later when they're useful. Yo guys, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much. If you want to also leave a like and subscribe to this channel, that would mean a lot more as well. It helps a lot more than you think. Also, if you want to be VOD reviewed in a video like this yourself, make sure to join the community Discord and the link in the description. It'll tell you what to do after you join. Also, use code VUJ in the item shop if you want to support me even further. I love you guys. See ya.